Hello, hockey fans, and welcome to NHL Draft Pros. On today's video, we're going to go through the 2025 NHL Draft Top 10 early rankings. There's some high-end talent in this draft class, so we're going to take a look at some of the prospects and check out some highlights of their game. And can you support the channel by smashing that subscribe and like button? I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so the top 10 for the 2025 draft. And if you follow hockey, you're going to know that at number 1, we have James Hagens from the U.S. Development Program. Yes, he is a stud of a player. Check out these numbers. Playing on the U18 squad this past season, 102 points in 58 games. What? Yes, very impressive numbers for Mr. Hagens. He was indeed their best player. He's got a great motor alongside some great skill, as you can see in this clip here. Check out those moves and that pass. Wow. Now, he led the U18 World Juniors, and this is a part of it right here, in points with 22 points in 7 games. Yes, 22 points in 7 games. This is a tournament record, by the way, and he will head over to Boston College next season, where we will get to enjoy watching him develop. So James Hagens, he's number 1 on the list. At number 2, we got Porter Martone. And he played in the OHL for Mississauga, and he had 71 points in 60 games. Yes, very impressive D-1 numbers for sure. Now, he's another player from the 2025 draft class that has a lot of skill, but he brings along a 6'3" frame. That's a big kid. He also had a great U18 tournament where he racked up 17 points in 7 games to help Canada win the gold. Now, the question is, will Martone be able to bring some competition for that first overall spot? It remains to be seen. So number 2, we got Porter Martone. Now, at number 3, we could have went a couple different ways, but I went with Michael Misa, and it's probably because I've watched him for the past 2 seasons develop, and I just like his game. Now, check out these numbers. 75 points in 67 games for the Memorial Cup champions, the Saginaw Spirit. Yeah, he was an exceptional status player, and he's been doing some great things, and you're going to want to see this highlight right here. Check this out. He absolutely dangles that D and then rifles it upstairs. Wow. Now, like I said, he was an exceptional player, and as a 15-year-old, he had 56 points in 45 games, which is very impressive in itself. And this past season, he continued with his great play and helped Saginaw win the Memorial Cup, like I said, chipping in 5 points in 5 games. So I can't wait to see how dominant he will be in his 3rd year in OHL during his draft year. He's going to put up some filthy numbers, I bet. So we got Michael Misa at number 3. Number 4, we head over to Sweden, and we have Anton Frondell. And he had 39 points in 29 games, and he had an injury near the end of the season there. And that is very impressive for a youngster in the J20. So that's the under 20 junior league in Sweden. So for him putting up that many numbers, wow. So he's another player from this draft class that has a lot of skill. He's got a confidence with the puck on his stick, and he sees the ice well, and has a nice motor too, actually. And so those are the qualities that you like to see in a young player. He also played 9 games in the 2nd division of the men's league in Sweden. So that shows that he has some maturity in his game, and they have some confidence in calling him up to play alongside the men as a 16-year-old. So Anton Frondell, he's number 4 on the list. Next, we head over to Russia, and we have Ivan Ryabkin. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's the way I'm going to pronounce it. Anyways, he had 58 points in 44 games as a 16-year-old in the best junior league in Russia. That is impressive in itself. Now, to go alongside with those great numbers, he's got a good compete, and his high-end skill is also very noticeable. He's another player that should dominate the NHL this season and help his draft stock for sure. You know what? Like, if he did that as a U16, wait until this year. And those 58 points that he got in the NHL is actually the best ever by a U17 player, ahead of Matvey Michkov. So yes, he's in some good company already. So Ivan Ryabkin, he's number 5 on the list. Moving along at number 6, we got Roger McQueen. And he played in the WHL this past season, and he had 51 points in 53 games. Now, the thing with McQueen is that he's a 6'5" center. and a 6'5" center who can skate well and has some nice offensive skills. So yeah, he's going to have some eyes on him for the 2025 NHL draft. Let me tell you something. McQueen has some nice hands and reads the ice well. And obviously, he uses his big frame to protect the puck. So those are nice intangibles that you like to see in a young player. Expect a big year in the WHL this season for sure for Roger McQueen. So he's number 6 on the list for now. Moving on, we have the first defenseman on the list, and that is Matthew Schaefer. And he played in the OHL for Erie and had 17 points in 56 games. So not some big offensive numbers, but you got to remember, he's a young player. And the thing with Schaefer is that he was the number 1 pick in the OHL draft, and he's had a pretty good season considering how young he was playing D in the OHL. Now, he's got good skills, some playmaking ability, and the big thing with Schaefer is that his skating is really nice. And you notice it in this clip here. He joins the rush. Actually, he kind of pinches up, and look at this. He's gone. He's gone to the races, and then wires one home. So, yeah, you know what? There's some things that he needs to work on overall, but I think that he's going to be a pretty decent two-way defenseman and hope to see some good development this year in the OHL. All right, at number 8, we got Jacob Wozniak. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, but that's what I'm going to say. And he had 50 points in 36 games in the U20 Junior Swedish League. That is some hefty numbers as a 16-year-old. Now, the other thing with Wozniak is that he's 6'3", and he's a decent skater with a lot of offensive upside. So check out this play right here. You're going to see him. So this is at the U18. He wasn't as noticeable in the U18s, but, you know, I'd put up some decent points. And that's a nice little goal right there. The one time right in the bumper area there, and he just smashes it home. So, yeah, you know what? I think that with a little bit more compete in his game, he can definitely put up some big numbers. So he might have a huge season in the Junior Swedish League, and he'll probably get called up a few games for their men's league too. So Wozniak, he's number 8 on the list. All right, number 9, Malcolm Spence, who is another player that played for the Erie Otters in the OHL. Now, he had 62 points in 66 games, decent numbers for a D-1 season, and he's a big power forward type player. And the one thing that stands out is his compete. He's just a hard-working player. I wouldn't say he has that offensive upside, but you got to like the work ethic, and he's tenacious on the puck, and he wins a lot of puck battles along the boards and in front of the net. So that is something that you like to see in a young player. And if he can round out his offensive game, he's going to be dangerous on the ice. And I want to see his international play too. I'd like to see him do a little bit more internationally. So we're going to see how Malcolm Spence goes along during the season, but he's got some upside there, and he's a big power forward type player. So he's number 9 on the list. And then the last one on the list is Logan Hensler. Now, I got a chance to see Logan Hensler play a lot because he played for the NTDP. 32 points in 61 games. He's the second defenseman on this list. So not bad production right there for the U18 National Development Program. And you know, the one thing that Hensler, he was on fire to start the season. Then he kind of slowed down a bit. But you know what? He's 6'2". He's a right-handed shot D. And you know what they say about that? They love the right-handed shot D. And then check out this one here when he breaks in and nice little pass there. That's a nice little backdoor pass. So he's going to be able to possibly, run a power play. He's on PP2 for the U18s, but and his defending is decent. So you know what? There's some upside right there. And he's going to be one that's going to be heading to college next year for Wisconsin. So we're going to want to see how he develops in the NCAA. And that's it for this year's draft so far. Now, I wanted to add some honorable mentions. So this is in alphabetical order. Sacha Boumedienne is the first one, and then Caleb Desnoyers, William Moore, Jake O'Brien, and Luka Radivojevic. They are some honorable mentions. And you know what? Like anything else, this list is going to change. It's going to, fluctuate up and down. And there's also going to be some surprises along the way. Some draft eligible players are going to shoot up in the rankings. But for now, this is our top 10. Hagens 1, Martone 2, Misa 3, Frondell 4, Ryabkin 5, McQueen 6, Schaefer 7, Wozniak 8, Spence 9, and Logan Hensler to finish off the top 10. And that's it for today. So please subscribe, hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. And we'll see you soon. Cheers.